If the faces you draw look something like this, but you just don't know how to improve, then you might be getting pretty frustrated with drawing. My name is Mark Liam Smith. I teach art to over 2.5 million people on TikTok, and I've shown my paintings in galleries from London to Los Angeles, Montreal to Miami. And I'm confident in a few short minutes in this video, I can teach you how to draw a head more like this. Let's get started. If you're really new to drawing, you might be drawing a head like this. It's a simple head, it's a circle with facial features. You sort of guess where to put the eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and eyebrows. And it always ends up looking cartoony, not like a real head. If you are doing heads like this, the problem isn't that you can't draw, it's that you don't know the steps to create the basic shapes in order to draw a finished face. When you see a professional artist draw a face, they still do all these steps, they're just doing them in their head. So I'm going to teach you the steps. So we're going to start with this simple version, this cartoony head, and we're going to build up the steps. And then it'll be up to you to internalize those steps through practice and repetition. Okay, so I'm going to assume you can get to this point and have that as your starting point. We're going to build a realistic face from this step. Okay, let's put our pens and markers away. We're going to pull out a pencil and an eraser. We're going to need that eraser moving forward. Alright, the next level that we need to work with is going from a circle to a circle with a square inside it. So draw a square in such a way that the corners don't overlap the circle. The biggest square you can. Something like this. Now with an eraser, you're going to erase the two sides. This is going to give you a really good width of the head and the top. There's a problem with the bottom. We're going to deal with that later on. But if you can find your way to this shape, even if I just scribble in some basic facial features here, eyes, nose, and mouth and ears, it's already looking much more like a head than that first cartoon. Now let's look at this lower jaw part and see what we can do here. Okay, I'm going to draw that circle again and the square inside it. Okay, now I'm going to divide that square into halves. Those two halves are equal size. Even if they're not quite equal on my picture, that's okay. This should be equal size. Now one of those sides I'm going to add at the bottom so that I have 3 units. And above the square is going to be half a unit. That bottom unit, the one that goes below the circle, you're going to draw a U shape there. This will be the jaw. And you can see here that the shape of the head is really starting to come together. I'm going to put my pencil down and erase the sides of the circle. Here is your basic shape of the head. There's going to be tremendous variation between different people, but that's okay. We're just talking about a general guideline. Halfway through that square, you're going to put the eyebrows. And just below the square is the mouth. Just above it is the nose. Again, these are very general guidelines. They will change from person to person. The width of the square is to be divided into 5 equal sections. The eyes are the width of the second and the fourth sections. Represent those now with circles. When you talk about the length of the ears, they generally go from the bottom of the eyebrows to the bottom of the nose. I'll put those in here. Underneath the nose and all the way to the bottom of the chin, draw a circle. Half of that circle is taken up with the chin, and half of it is taken up with the mouth. Now around the nose, I'm going to draw a triangle. The top of the triangle ends at the top of the eyebrow line. I'm also going to draw a little inverted triangle. That triangle goes down to about the eye level. I'm also going to add 2 little vertical lines here for the nose. 2 tilted ovals will give us our cheekbones. And then draw these diagonal lines. They go from the eyes down to about the cheekbones. We're starting to define the planes of the face. This will really come in handy later, and it's very important once we start talking about lighting. That'll be for a different video. This line that extends from the temple goes around the cheekbones and ends at the bottom of the chin, is a really important line to study and learn. This line is the transition line between the part of the face that faces us, or the front view, and the part of the face that is the side view, all the way in an arch across the forehead. So that transition line is basically where the face is on a diagonal. Everything inside that line is facing us, and everything outside that line is in the side view. Now I draw the pupils, and I notice the width of the pupils is the same as the width of the mouth. The mouth is made up of these 3 lines. The top of the mouth is 3 ovals, and the bottom of the mouth is 2 ovals. Now for the eyes, the top lid is 3 lines in an arch, and the bottom lid is not quite as arched. And the irises are small circles. Putting in the eyebrows now, and we're almost done. You can define the bags of the eyes if there are bags of the eyes. Here, I'm just going to color in this area that is in the side view. I do have separate tutorials on how to draw the eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. Please do check those out. I'm adding a bottom lip now, and some surface details. I hope this was easy enough to follow along, and remember, you're not going to get it right the first time. Nobody does. What's really important is that you keep practicing, use these basic measurements and proportions as a guide. These basic guidelines will help you improve your drawing. Please do subscribe here on YouTube if you're not already, and check out some of my other videos. Happy drawing out there.